here. We stay here. We don't leave, all right? We get one more. That's the reward for doing what we did today. We get one more. Now we got to go earn it again, all right?
Come on now.
Shooters, shoot. Love y'all boys. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Wait.
Dude, Josh Allen, and he seemed to be fully aware of the weight that he was carrying.
I feel like you could see it on him yesterday.
Look,
felt like it was concern in his eye the whole day, like he knew. And how could he not?
you know why?
Every sports show in the country is saying the same thing. Mahomes isn't there. Lamar's there. You're supposed to go to the Super Bowl.
No Mahomes, no Joe Burrow, no Lamar Jackson.
Right.
And if they had lost, Josh Allen takes the heat, Sean McDermott takes the fall. We don't know that it wouldn't have happened, but I think that's part of the weight he felt.
Right.
Keenly aware of the reality that if they had lost that game, John Harbaugh's out there. There's already been that talk. They floated it last week on ESPN's pregame show. This isn't some fringe conspiracy theory. At some point, Terry Pagel was going to say, what are we doing with the prime years of Josh Allen's career? We have to go in a different direction. So he was feeling that weight. He was feeling that pressure. He rose to the occasion, as he always does. He got twisted around. He got banged up. He had a concussion check. His knee seemed messed up. I'm going to be interested to see the injury report all week long, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, since they play on Saturday. But they got it done. They beat the Jaguars. He delivered. Trevor Lawrence didn't. Players make plays. Allen had the opportunity to go down and take the lead. He did. Trevor Lawrence had the opportunity to go down and force overtime or win the game. There was enough time in theory to get all the way down the field and win the game with a touchdown.
Right.
He didn't. It's that simple. Those are the moments when you either rise up or you don't. Allen did. Lawrence didn't.
Allen answered all day long. All day long. That's really, I mean, if you want to boil it down to that, every big moment, every gotta-have-it drive, Josh Allen delivered. That's what Josh Allen usually does. That's what makes him special. That's why usually his effect on the field is better than what his stats say.
Here's because the knee getting twisted up when he scored the first
that was close to being a disaster. But it was big throws down the field, and that guy right there, Khalil Shakir, and a lot of intermediate passes. So we worked underneath, and the 5-yard throws to Shakir, and then he hit the tight end. And Shavers and Brandon Cooks and company and Keon Coleman at one point for big plays. That was the big thing of the day. Josh Allen was incredible that way. And it was wobbly early. And to me, like, I usually don't go back to the first quarter to go, wait, this is the moment where the game changed. But there was a moment where, first off, Trevor Lawrence looked like the Trevor Lawrence that we thought was a little hesitant in the middle part of the year, where we're like, I don't know if I totally trust him.
You could count on him to make a mistake, a big mistake, once or twice every game. The question was, would the defense capitalize on it, or would they drop the turnover?
Exactly.
But we saw it every single week, and Liam Cohen coached it out of him, and it all came back yesterday.
Right, and he was a machine the last 7-8 weeks of the year. So, machine. But you heard me during the game yesterday. I mean, one, we know that 2 interceptions happened. But 2, you heard me say a number of times, and you heard Jason Garrett and everybody go, look at the quality of the ball. Like, some of the balls were coming out of his hands. He was throwing ducks, right? Because it just felt like he was uncomfortable. And a lot of that was because of Buffalo. Buffalo played good defense on that side of the ball, too. But you throw an interception to start the game. That was bad, right down the middle, into the linebacker's hands. Get Buffalo. And early on, it felt like Jacksonville was the more physical, intense football team. Buffalo goes nowhere, but they get a field goal, 3-0. Jacksonville answers right back, 7-3. They go right down the field. You're like, whoa, that was a little easy. We have the fumbled kick return by Ryan Davis. And here to me, Ray Davis, excuse me. Here to me was the moment where you go, Jacksonville, if you want to put the Bills and Josh Allen, whom we know can do crazy stuff, and really make them uncomfortable here with all the pressure you just talked about, right? They have a short field. It looks like they're going to have a chance to score. They have a 4th and 1, and Trevor Lawrence keeps the ball around the edge and really trips on his feet, and is unable to get the first down. And Buffalo answers with a 92-yard touchdown drive. So we were like this close to being like, whoa, Jacksonville's going to go up 14-3 and make Buffalo have to throw the ball a little more than they like. And then all of a sudden it became, wow, what a drive. Josh Allen, the run game, they just made every play possible. They're back in the lead, and they settled things down. And then we got into a real ball game from that point on.
And that was on a 4th down play where Trevor Lawrence tripped up, fell down. And look, the analytics crowd would say, well, if he hadn't tripped, that would have been a good decision. But you have to factor in the possibility of a failure of execution anytime you go for it on fourth down. Sometimes the fourth down play doesn't work because the defense goes and makes a phenomenal play. Sometimes the offense makes a mistake. And I just don't understand. Well, I know why. I don't understand why NFL coaches won't stand up to the in-house analytics people and say, listen, sometimes you got to just take the points.
Yeah.
I don't want to
It's early.
hear.
What are we chasing?
I don't want to hear that it's 51-49, win percentage goes up if we go for it here versus taking the 3.
Right.
I'm taking the freaking 3. There's something to be said for getting points off of this turnover. And yeah, well, the Bills will feel like they dodged a bullet because they gave up 3 instead of 7, but they're going to really feel like they dodged a bullet if they give up 0.
Yeah.
And
right.
those are the kind of things that can, and this is where, and I don't want to hear, oh, there's a formula for that. Bullshit. The feeling that you have collectively and individually
Right.
when, after the Ray Davis fumble, for the Jaguars to emerge from that with 0 points, that is the opportunity to reset, pull the cord on the lawnmower, and let's get this thing going.
Right.
And you don't appreciate
It jump
how
starts
that
a
feels.
sideline. Right. All
You
of
don't
that.
appreciate how that feels
Right.
unless you've truly been involved in competitive endeavors, sports, anything, ping pong, whatever. You don't understand the way the human animal
I think
reacts.
that's one of the biggest
we all
things that
have
gets
been there
lost.
at some
Right,
point.
Right.
And that gave the Bills a lift. And what did they do with it?
Yeah.
Right down the
the field. Made a few big throws once they crossed midfield. And then all of a sudden it was like, whoa, Jacksonville kind of felt like they were controlling the game. And then it kind of went back to, well, you know, they didn't take advantage of when they had control. And now they're down 13-7 because the Bills have kind of controlled the football game. And the game was awesome because we went back through some ebbs and flows of then where in the third quarter Jacksonville started to get it going a little bit again, and you kind of went, ooh, they're controlling the game. But every time you felt like they're controlling the game, their defense couldn't stop freaking Superman. That's the biggest thing. Josh Allen kind of made the big throw or the big play every time with a bunch of receivers that, again, are not real special. But they game planned the right way. It was a really nice job by the offensive coordinator. I just blanked out on his name there in Buffalo.
Joe Brady.
Yeah. Thank you, Joe Brady. I wanted to say Will Brady, which is not correct. But yeah, it was plays like this, getting people open, putting the defense of the Jaguars and challenging some of their rules. And then, of course, when it was there, Josh Allen hit it. I don't think he had many opportunities to make big plays yesterday, but when he did, he took advantage of it, and that was amazing. And I think you couple that with the defense making Trevor Lawrence feel uncomfortable, the defense playing some sticky coverage on the back end, and I think that's one area maybe I don't think I gave the Bills enough credit for is their secondary playing pretty good football
Tre'Davious
right now.
White stepping up. There was a period this year
Teron
where
Johnson,
if I'm getting ready to play the Bills,
Bedford,
I'm just throwing the ball at whoever is covering.
Tre'Davious
is covered by Tre'Davious
Exactly
White.
Exactly right.
And he stepped up yesterday.
He did. He made some plays, playoff football. We saw Cole Bishop, who can really run and is playing awesome at safety. So that was a big win for Buffalo. And, yeah, you felt like there was a lot of pressure on them for all the reasons you explained. And I think that'll go a long way. They'll feel differently this week because now they're in a game this week where it's Denver, it's the 1 seed. You are not really supposed to win this football game, definitely.
They're favored by a point and a half.
And they're going to be hot and ready to go.
The Bills are favored, just like
shocked.
last week. The
I'm
Bills
not
were
shocked.
favored by a point and a half, and then the
Right.
sharp money came in, and it flipped 3 points to the Jaguars being favored by a point and a half. I think the same thing could happen this week because there's a perception among the betting public, the average person, that the Bills are better because they have Josh Allen.
Yeah.
They have Josh Allen, and the Broncos have been kind of sluggish all year, play with their food. Not really any.
They
other than
match
the
up with
big
Denver,
win, the big
right?
win over the Cowboys. Not a lot of.
No, dominant wins.
Right.
It's very rare to see a 1 seed.
The
where you
Bills will
go,
be in this game.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, because one, they have Josh Allen, so you go, wait, their offense will, even though we know Denver's defense is really good, it's kind of hard to squash Josh Allen. So because of that, and then you go, wait, Denver's offense is good, but not great. And you would say, yeah, I think Buffalo could certainly hang in there with them and give them some problems. So that's going to be a fun football game. They played in the playoffs last year. Buffalo blew them out 31-7. But we know this is a different Broncos team, and it's going to be on their home turf here. But the Bills are battle-tested, and I think that's part of the reason they won yesterday too. Because Jacksonville, this is still a new experience for them. And playing in the playoffs and the pressure and intensity, and as Trevor Lawrence learned, just cutting the ball loose and just having no fear is not as easy to overcome those mental hurdles in the playoffs when you haven't been there a whole lot and you know, oh gosh, one mistake and the game could be over. And like we saw on the last play of the football game, right? He throws the interception down the middle, right? So here, this is 2 plays I want to show everybody. This play right here, we saw this fourth quarter, right? Post down the middle. You see him coming across. There's the quarter's backside safety. If he really throws it out there off the backside or the back door, he's probably going to score a touchdown. Here's the interception at the end of the football game. And if you can really see here, you could see Parker Washington up right here, right? He's going to come free. And this is a play where, again, I don't want to be overcritical of Trevor Lawrence here in this one, but that coverage would dictate that you should go that way. And if we don't mind just showing that play again one more time, guys, it's one of those where sometimes you might hear me say, feel of the quarterback, right? A really good quarterback, Josh Allen, for instance, he might go, wait, I have this guy here, but I know in this coverage my coach told me to be alert. Even though I'm supposed to kind of throw to this guy, this coverage kind of tells me, ooh, my coach told me I can take a shot here.
What about the coverage? I'm just curious, just so folks understand.
Right.
What is it about the coverage? Hold it right there. Don't move it yet. So what about the coverage tells you that?
So look at the safety down here at the bottom of the screen, right? This bottom of the screen safety, which is Cole Bishop, right here about the 35-yard line, right? Right by the yellow. He's going to kind of drop down in the middle. He's playing for inside crosser, playing a quarter safety. And then Tre'Davious White, of course, is locked up on Jacoby Myers. So the backside safety is down, and as you see right there, see Parker Washington behind him going across. It's a very similar concept than what they had the play before. What you would love to be able to say to Trevor Lawrence is just go, oh, I wish he would have felt this because he's got good protection, take another step up in the pocket, pat the ball, and he's going to have Parker Washington coming out the back door there for a big football play. You can kind of see it right here. Watch, Mike. The ball is here. Look at Parker Washington's going to go by the screen right there with nobody there. It's a tough play, but again, that's where you would have maybe liked that in that moment.
It takes me back 3 years ago to, and it pains me to recall this, the key play in the Vikings-Giants playoff game when Kirk Cousins threw short of the sticks. And he said after the game that Justin Jefferson was double covered. The safety was flat-footed. I think that's part of the nuance that you need to recognize as a quarterback because the safety technically was in the vicinity of Parker Washington, but you have to understand the body position. He wasn't
rules.
Dropping.
He's thinking
he's
downhill,
standing there and looking forward.
Exactly.
He's flat-footed,
right.
So he's not going to make a play on that ball, and that's part of the overall development of a quarterback, and I assume that's part of what Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence are going to be working about. As Cohen did a great job with Trevor Lawrence. He got Trevor Lawrence to a level that we didn't think he was going to get to. We thought he hit a ceiling in his second year and regressed, and Liam Cohen pushed him beyond it. Yesterday, the ceiling came back. Between the throw,
the first interception was bad.
Well, but the duck, it was so funny to hear Tony Romo say it may have been the best throw of his career. It was a duck. Yeah. To Parker Washington. He just got lucky. He was so open that nobody had a chance to go back and pick it off. It was an ephus pitch.
Well, he had a lot of footballs that did not come out of his hand clean yesterday. And I think again that was a little bit because of the playoff pressure and the Bills being around him and making him feel uncomfortable. He felt rushed where I would love to, I wish we could go back and I could show you week 17 and week 16 how smooth and calm he was and the motion was smooth. Yesterday, there were so many throws that were really quick at the last second to throw the ball, and then they made the ball come out a little funny. But it was a great football game. It was there to be had, as we know. And like so many times when we've seen the Buffalo Bills and they pull out these type of football games, a lot of the times it just feels like they rise to the occasion in clutch moments, and a lot of that is because they're quarterback and he answers the bell. And then Sean McDermott backs it up with some tactical, take a chance calling this defense, let me try this in a big moment, and he gets them off the field, and that was a big win for the Buffalo Bills yesterday.
Well, hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.